So there's a lot of news to cover today. We have White Fox that announced a new anime series that they're going to be doing that is a total of 3 cores long. And this obviously does bring into question the current state of ReZero, because let's go over the facts of what we know so far. We know about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, we had an event for ReZero, and we didn't really get much information about ReZero. All we knew is that, they're working on it. We had a PV trailer. We didn't really get any, full casting or directors, etc. revealed, but we knew it was coming. It's just, there was no release date. They didn't really have anything to offer us brand new for ReZero a few weeks back when there was that event, which started to make you wonder, okay, so if they're not ready for it, this most likely means that it's probably not going to come out until a good while. So many, including myself, were speculating maybe somewhere around summer or spring of next year. That's what we assumed, because obviously it would make sense. For an early announcement of the anime back in this April of this year, it would kind of fall in line with how announcements usually work for anime. Sometimes, usually when there's an announcement, a year later, the anime will come out. So that's what, timeline we were kind of working with. However, the announcement that came out earlier this morning for this series, Sengoku Yoko, is based on an old manga series that started to come out in 2007 and ended in 2016 with over 100 chapters, 17 volumes. White Fox decided to pick this series up. Now, what came along with this announcement was that we had a trailer, we had a literal cast listing, we had the full cast, at least who's directing it, who's doing the series scripts, we have the designing of the characters, we got full-on reveal of the cast, which is a lot more information than obviously we got for ReZero. So it's clear that this series is way further along than what ReZero currently is, because from what ICE says and everybody else that's inside the know of ReZero content, White Fox is working on ReZero. So because of these little details, it's okay, this is apparently going to be 3 cores long. It was announced with it, along with the trailer and all that. That means that it's going to be a total of 3 anime seasons. And this is set to air, according to the information, in January 2024. Now, let's make sure we're all on the same page. This means that we have the summer season that we're currently in. Then we have the fall season, which that'll be the final season of the year. And then we'll move into January, which will have the winter of anime 2024. And that's when this series will begin. Then it will continuously air, apparently. It'll have a, simultaneous, continuous airing. No, split core for 3 cores. Which means that it will not finish up airing until around the summer season of, 2024. Which, that's a while. To pretty much put in perspective, the series will be wrapping up at the end of summer next year. Around the same time right now. Which is just ridiculous to think about. And it's nowadays, a lot of studios struggle to even do 2 cores, to do a full 24 episode series nowadays. Usually it's they'll air 12 episodes and then they'll do a split core to where you won't have the next half of the series for another 2 seasons. This is a very common thing that happens often with anime nowadays. I think everybody is kind of taken, notice of this. It's become very common, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. It allows production to stay ahead, allows more time and effort to be put on the work. Nothing wrong with that. But the point of the matter is that Studio White Fox announced that they wanted to do a 3-core, no split core, Sengoku Yoko, which is oh wow, that's not something I have seen in a while for an anime. Can they actually pull that off? So you're probably wondering, okay, so, well, how does this affect ReZero? Well, obviously, for the staff, we do have some pretty big staff listing for this series that's working on it. Let me scroll down here, I'll let you see here. The director is someone that worked on, Haiku Ahoshin Ingi, which here's the director, and this is what he's worked on over the years. You can just see, all the different listings of stuff that he's worked on as chief director, as a storyboarder, as a key animator, character designer. He's worked on quite a few series over the years. He's definitely not a small timer. He's definitely an industry veteran when it comes to directing and doing things within the anime industry, so he's a pretty big name. Then we have, the actual scriptwriter, the series' script, who's writing it, and we have this individual right here, Juki Hanada, which, is currently going to be working on, Sengoku Yoko as well, and they have worked on quite a few series over the years as well. I mean, you can see it right here. I mean, they've even worked on K-On!, which is just, that's iconic. Everybody knows how iconic K-On! Is. They've worked on No Game No Life, No Game No Life Movie, movie, they worked on, sound. Yeah, so the overall staff listing for the series isn't necessarily small. I mean, hell, we even have Evan that is doing the music for, and they actually did the music for Violet Evergarden, which was beautiful. It was a breathtaking soundtrack. So it's very clear that, Studio White Fox is definitely putting their A-team on this project. They're definitely wanting this project to be successful, which makes sense. If they're wanting it to air 3 cours long, it's definitely going to need it. It's definitely going to need high production. It's definitely going to need an all-star staff. It's going to need a lot of attention. And so, because of this is starting to make me realize why they haven't really announced ReZero yet. And that kind of plays into all of it. So basically, if we can, believe the rumors and leaks and stuff and all that White Fox still has ReZero, they're going to be working on it, it's seeming more and more likely we will not get ReZero Season 3 until very early 2025 or late 2024. Because if Sengoku Yoko is supposed to be airing until summer of next year, that means that ReZero is definitely not going to air alongside of that. It would definitely just harm production for both series unless they have completely 2 separate staff working on it, but I'm assuming that White Fox probably wants to focus on one project, especially if it's something that is going to take 3 seasons, which that's insane. So my impression is that if we're going to get ReZero at the earliest of next year, it's going to be fall season. Summer if they really want to push it, but it's going to probably be fall season at the earliest, and most likely it's going to be 2025. So it kind of explains why we've gotten really no information of Season 2 at this point, which, I mean, once again, I think this is fine. I'm glad to see that they announced it. I think everybody is happy that ReZero Season 3 was announced. It's just, obviously we're going to have to wait a lot longer than we actually thought. But anyways, getting back onto the news, though, Sengoku Yoko, this doesn't mean anything bad. I'm not saying anything bad about the series. I'm actually really excited for this. I think that, the overall story, like when I was reading the synopsis and stuff, it does sound interesting. It sounds like something that I would definitely want to watch and definitely want to look into, and I'm definitely going to watch this. I mean, Studio White Fox, they have made countless classics that I love over the years that really have stood the test of time, and I went back and rewatched myself. So I know for a fact that, Sengoku Yoko is going to be a good show, but it's interesting, though, that they're wanting to do a 3-core. I do wonder how they're going to handle that, because that is not something that you see nowadays. You don't see that often. So I wish them the best of luck, and I am definitely looking forward to watching this in the beginning of Winter of Anime 2024. But okay, I want to wrap up the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.